Hey friends, so this video is going to be on literal equations. For literal equations, all we want to do is get whatever they're asking us to get isolated. So if we look at number one says that we need to get pi, whoops, that's really large. We need to get pi by itself. So if we are going to get pi isolated, we need to divide by 2r. And what we do on the right-hand side, we have to do on the left-hand side. And so we're going to divide both sides by 2r. And we do that so the i's will reduce out and so that the 2's will reduce out. So the pi in this particular problem is equal to the circumference divided by twice the radius. If we look at question 2, question 2 is asking us to solve for p. So we are going to isolate p. So to isolate p, first thing we're going to get rid of is that 1/2. So we're going to multiply this side of the problem by 2 and this side of the problem by 2. And we do that so that the 2 will reduce the 1/2. And that will give us 2a is equal to lowercase ap. And we still want to isolate the p. So now we're going to have to use the inverse operation. We're going to have to undo the multiplication. So we're going to have to divide by a. So we are going to divide by a. And we learned last year that capital A and lowercase a are two completely different variables. And we did that so that the lowercase a's would reduce out. So the answer is p is equal to twice capital A divided by lowercase a. Okay, I would suggest to you that some people will do that all in one step. So let's go back and we'll do it again. So A is equal to half of AP, and we are trying to get P by itself. So some people would want to do this in one step, so they would just multiply by 2 and divide by A at the same time. And all they've done is they've streamlined, so the 1/2 reduces with the 2 and the A reduces with the A. So all they've done there is streamlined, done it in one step instead of 2. It's not a competition. Doesn't matter how many steps it takes you, as long as you are correct. So same answer, fewer steps. Okay, number 3. Oh, that's the pencil. Forgot that's the thing. We're looking for B. So we want to get B by itself. So in order to get B by itself, we need to first get rid of the denominator. So we first have to undo the divide by C by multiplying both sides by C. And when we do that, this C will reduce this C. And that will leave you A plus B is equal to 5C. We are still solving for B. So now we want B isolated. So we need to do the inverse operation of addition. So we need to subtract the A. And we subtract the A so that this A and that A will cancel each other out. There will be no A left. So we have B equals 5C minus A. Now, if you want to see if you're getting the hang of it, you could pause the video and try this next one on your own. All right, on this next one, we are looking for X. X is right here. The first thing we need to do is we need to move the 3Y. And the inverse of subtraction is addition. So we do that so that these two will cancel each other out. That's going to give us 3x's equal 24 plus 3y. And then the inverse of, we still want to get the x by itself, so we have to divide out the 3. So we're going to go divided by 3, divided by 3, divided by 3. And we do that so that this 3 and this 3 will reduce each other out. You'll be left with x equals 24 divided by 3 is 8, and 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we just have 1y, or just y. I would point out to you that some people in this step right here where it says 3x equals 24 plus 3y, they would divide by 3 and divide by 3. And that, again, will make the 3's strike out. But then you have to remember, so when doing that, then you have to remember that you need to take the 24 and divide it by 3. And then you need to take the 3y and divide it by 3. And sometimes people forget to do that. That's why I like the way I did it the first time, where I divide each piece by 3, each term by 3. Okay, number 5. Again, you're welcome to pause the video at any time, give these a shot, and see if you have an idea. We're isolating v. If we are isolating v, the first thing I need to do is I need to get rid of this 1/2. So the inverse of a half is multiplying by 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. That way the 2 will strike the 1/2. And that will leave you 14. Whoops, a little sloppy there. That will leave you 14 w's is equal to w plus v. All right, and then if we are still trying to get v by itself, then what we would do is we would subtract a w, and if you need to, remember that it's 1w, and we do that so that w minus w will cancel out, leaving you no w's over there. And 14w minus w is 13w's, so 13w is equal to v. We don't want to distribute that 1/2 because that makes the problem worse, not better, and we're going for better. All right, number 6. We are solving for n. So the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to need to divide by 180. And we're dividing by 180 because this right here is multiplication because there's no symbol between the parentheses and the 180. So we are going to divide by 180. And we do that so that this 180 will reduce out this 180. So on the right-hand side, you simply have n minus 2. On the left-hand side, you have s divided by 180 is n minus 2. So we're close, really, really close, but we're still trying to get n isolated, and n is connected to negative 2. So the inverse operation of negative 2 or minus 2 is adding 2. So we're going to go plus 2 and plus 2. And we do that so that the negative 2 and the positive 2 cancel each other out. And we are left with the fraction s over 180 plus 2 is equal to n. And I think that's it. Are those all the examples on that page? Those are all the examples on that page. So that is it, my friends. Have a great day.